crime knows no frontiers. To combat the growing menace of the international criminal, the police forces of the world have opened up their own national boundaries. At their headquarters in Paris, scientifically equipped to match the speed of the jet age, 63 nations have linked together to form the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol.
Here is the heart of London, loaded down with some of the world's heaviest traffic. This car, typical of many, has caused a jam, so the police patrol opens it up with special keys and drives it off to the official car park, where later the owner collects it.
Another one for the slate, Sarge.
French number plate. Paris registration 6074 RT75. 2100 hours. Let's get started with the contents list.
One pair of string gloves, one thermos, 2 road maps, and a throat pastels from the pocket in the boot.
Well, that's a lot inside. Let's see what's in the luggage compartment. Handbag, nothing in her pockets. Wonder who she is.
We'll find out.
Well, I'll bet this is one car no one claims in a hurry.
You drove it in?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you pick it up?
Malt Street, near Piccadilly. Well, it was just another car nicked for parking. Nothing unusual about it.
Except for a body in the luggage compartment.
Controls checking stolen vehicles.
I've asked Interpol to trace the Paris registration. You, take it down to the lab.
Yes, sir.
I want to take another look at that stuff you took out of the car.
There's a queue of people waiting for their cars, Sarge.
Okay, you can open up shop again. Air ferry ticket for the car from France, but look, I can't make out the date.
Well, I know which views first. You, sir?
Well, I guess so. They told me you brought my car here.
Which one?
Well, I don't see it around. It's an American job. White, French plates.
Where was it parked?
Place just off Piccadilly, Malt Street, I think. Malt Street.
What's your name?
Stack. Ben Stack. Identification here. What's the trouble? You fellas haven't wrecked it, have you? Huh?
Let's take a trip, Mr. Stack. To Scotland Yard.
I never saw this girl in my life.
Take another look and be sure.
Look, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know who she is. I don't know how she came to be in my car.
Sit down. Checked your car for fingerprints. Not on the police drivers. Only yours showed up.
Well, so what does that prove?
Well, it might prove a lot. Live in Paris?
Yeah.
Why'd you come to Britain?
Business?
Hmm?
Business.
What business?
I'm an executive to an American firm in Europe.
You say you came over on the air ferry from France today.
That's right. Checked in the hotel, went out and had a meal, and went to a movie.
And parked your car.
Yeah, I parked my car. Now look, when are we going to cut all this phony third-degree stuff? Some guy strangles a dame in London. He wants to get rid of the body, so he picks on my car out of the thousands in the city.
You're wrong, Stack. Didn't happen in London.
What do you mean?
This medical report says she was strangled 24 hours ago.
Well, so what are you saying?
We questioned the customs men down at the airport. So happened they were busy this afternoon. They didn't check every car that came off the ferry.
Well, what are you getting at?
Everything that girl wore, including her perfume, was French. That means she came over with you, Stack. All the way from Paris.
This is a new one. A car, a body, and a murder suspect. Flown back to the country of origin. One case less for Scotland Yard.
Maybe a tough one for us. We still don't know who the dead girl is. Maybe we can persuade Mr. Stack to tell us.
Here's your man.
You guys are making a big mistake.
I wouldn't be too sure.
Let's go and prove whether it's a mistake or not. Safe journey back, Inspector.
One thing worries me. Would Stack reclaim his car if he knew there was a body in it?
He's an American. He didn't know that our traffic men make an inventory of contents.
What do you make of Stack?
Give me one more day and I'd make mincemeat out of him.
You sound sorry to be giving up the case.
I wouldn't want to strangle her to get away with it.
All right, Stack. Now tell me, why should anyone want to frame you?
I don't know. Someone must.
Well, who? You must have some idea.
Told you, I don't know.
You don't know anything, do you?
Look,
And you still say you don't recognize this girl?
I told you 1,000 times. I never saw her before.
You're positive?
I'm certain. I have no idea who she is. Have you?
Not yet, but we'll find out.
Well, suppose we try it again. Hmm? You left Paris alone after a party. We've checked that. You wanted to be near the airfield, spend the night, and board the plane the next day, right?
Right.
You left Paris at 8:30. Got to your hotel in Le Touquet at 1. 4.5 hours for a trip that normally takes 3. Well, where were you during that hour and a half?
I'd had a lot to drink. I was loaded. I stopped someplace, yeah, but I don't remember the name.
Between Paris and the airfield, there are hundreds of cafes, bars, and clubs. But very conveniently, you don't remember which. Inspector Sugar.
You know, this story of yours, it's not very convincing.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's the only one I have.
So I've noticed. But it doesn't prove your innocence. You've got to help the police.
Help him? Look, this guy, Chauvin, wants to pin a murder on me. Just like that Scotland Yard guy would have done.
You can't blame them on the evidence.
Here's some more. Sergeant Ben Stack, U.S. Army, served in Korea, discharged on grounds of ill health. Occasional loss of memory, periods of amnesia.
Yeah, it's true. But that was years ago. And you've got to believe me. The doctors back in the States cleared me.
And you haven't suffered the same thing since?
No, I swear it. Inspector, you've got to help me.
We're on the move. The girl was Marie-Therese Sauvant, age 22, just reported missing by a landlady.
What's the address?
Maybe it rings a bell with you, Stack. It's right on the route you drove to the airfield.
This tells us what sort of girl she was.
Nothing's been touched?
Not a thing.
How long had she lived here?
About a year. A very nice, quiet, respectable girl.
They always are. How about telling us the truth, madame?
That is the truth. I never had any trouble with her.
You mean she paid the rent?
Over the odds, you can be sure.
What every nice, quiet girl keeps in her room.
Va.
Look at this. B.S. for Ben Stack.
The girl's name was Sauvin. She could have a nickname.
But she wouldn't be presented with a lighter from the Stratton Gear Company of Pittsburgh, USA.
The company Stack works for.
So he didn't know the girl. Never saw in his life, he said.
Did she have a visitor 2 nights ago?
I wouldn't know. I didn't see anyone. My tenants live their own lives. I don't bother them.
But you reported her missing after only 1 day. Why?
Well, her boss phoned me. She hadn't turned up at work.
Who is her boss?
Tony D'Ambrosio. He runs a club near here.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, she was a hostess there, you know.
D'Ambrosio? D'Ambrosio.
Yes?
Interpol.
Oh, I know why you've come. Marie-Therese.
That's right.
We were all very shaken when we heard. She was a good kid.
We'd like to ask you some questions.
Oh, that's all right. Susie isn't just my singer. She's my wife. Go ahead.
Was the club busy 2 nights ago?
It always is midweek.
And you keep an eye on your hostesses.
My eyes are on that keyboard all evening. Anyway, the girls are paid to circulate.
Until they latch on to a sucker, huh?
Now, look, there's no law against having hostesses, is there?
Nobody said there was, D'Ambrosio. All we want to know is, did she fasten onto one man?
I saw her sitting with a man at the table over there.
Can you describe him?
No, I was doing a number. He had his back to me. I thought I saw them dancing once, but I didn't see his face.
What about drinks? Who served that table?
Maurice, but he wouldn't remember the man. He was rushed off his feet. In any case, his eyesight's even worse than mine.
Remind me not to buy a drink around here. But can't you remember anything at all about the man?
His accent, for example. Could he have been American?
Come to think of it, he was dressed like an American.
What about you?
Well, I heard him say a few words. He got tangled with a customer at the next table. They almost had a fight, but the girl smoothed it over.
Who was the customer?
I can't tell you that. We have to be discreet.
This is a murder case.
The customer may not wish to be involved. He's a respected person. He's a big noise in the government.
If he remembers the American's face, I want to talk to him. What's his name?
Senator Landau.
Landau? I know him.
All right, Stack, get in the lineup. All right now, face the front and keep your hands down.
All right.
All ready, sir.
Thank you. Ask him to come in, Jean.
Senator Landau.
Thank you for coming, sir. You know what to do.
I hope there won't be any publicity about my being at the club. It's just an occasional haunt of mine.
It's quite all right, sir. We merely want identification. We've already got a vital piece of evidence on our man.
Senator. Take your time. We want you to be absolutely certain.
Number 3, that's your man.
Okay, so the guy identified me. I was at D'Ambrosio's, but I didn't strangle that girl.
Is that your lighter?
Yeah. Sure it's mine. Where'd you get it?
In the dead girl's room. Any idea how it came to be there?
I lost it. Somebody must have found it and planted it. Like they did the body. Look, don't you see? I have been framed. They needed a fall guy, and I'm it. I told you I was tanked up. I admit that. I could have laid it on a table and left it in the club.
Not so long ago, you swore you didn't remember where you had a drink.
Well, I still don't. You say it was D'Ambrosio's, it was D'Ambrosio's.
I'll ask you again, Stack. Why should anyone at D'Ambrosio's want to frame you?
Oh, you've never been there before, had you?
No.
You didn't know anyone there?
No.
But we do. Inspector Chauvin.
Take him away.
Last conviction, 1950, New York.
D'Ambrosio's face was familiar. I asked Moni to check with Interpol files.
Which file did he surface from?
Weiss?
Deported from the States after sentence. Interesting, Duval, but tell me where it ties in with his murder case.
Maybe it doesn't. Just the same, I think we'll pay D'Ambrosio a call.
Gentlemen.
Useful thing, the telephone.
Why walk when you can talk?
And everything's strictly confidential, huh?
You're on form tonight, Inspector.
I called in to see if you were running through to yours.
We've been studying the book.
All right. So you found out I had a record. But those days are over now.
Are they?
Of course. Now I run a legitimate club and give the customers a little music. That's all.
That's all, huh?
Yes. On the house.
Expensive atmosphere. How does a man just out of prison get a place like this?
Oh, find yourself a backer and then you build up goodwill.
And the word good has nothing to do with it.
Now look, Inspector, just because some drunk strangled one of my girls gives you nothing on this club.
Perhaps not.
You charged the American yet?
We're holding him. Still collecting evidence. Thanks for the champagne anyway.
I'll bet D'Ambrosio's hiding something.
Yes, a racket of his own. For evidence on a murder.
Ah, wrong car, Paul.
Better watch it. You might find you're driving with a body in the back.
Identical cars. That could be it.
Could be what?
How Stack drove a dead girl all the way to London.
Wait a minute. It was his car. He didn't make a mistake.
Suppose someone else did.
And dumped the body in the wrong car?
It's possible. Where is D'Ambrosio's car?
Why?
I'd like to take a look at it. I understand it's up for sale.
It's over here, sir.
Well, bang goes your theory.
You sure he's selling? You know, he got it yesterday. It's brand new.
What was his last car like?
No idea. I only started here yesterday. The regular man's got pneumonia. Catch your death in a car park at night, you can.
You're right. You can. Thanks.
D'Ambrosio's old car's in here, sir. Came in yesterday.
It's exactly the same car as Stack's.
Even the color. It still doesn't prove anything. The American's lighter was in the girl's flat. Explain that.
It could have been planted.
All right, but Stack was actually seen with the dead girl. Senator Lando picked him out in the parade.
That doesn't prove that he strangled her. Let's question Stack again.
It's a waste of time. He doesn't remember anything on purpose.
He may remember seeing this car. If he does, we are getting somewhere.
Radio message. It's the American. He has escaped.
Quick. I have a hunch he'll head straight for D'Ambrosio's.
What can I do for you?
Cut the fancy talk. You know who I am.
Oh, yes, of course. I've seen your photograph in the papers. I'm glad to see you've been released.
I haven't.
You broke out.
That's right.
That was very stupid of you. You see, after one of my men put the body into your car and you drove away with it, we spent a great deal of time trying to make good the mistake.
Yeah, you've been working overtime.
Yes, but I think I have found the way to finish the job. Neatly.
Yeah?
I shall simply shoot you. You're an escaped murder suspect. You break into my office and threaten me, and I have to defend myself. Like this. All right, Stack.
The show's over, D'Ambrosio.
Might be rather awkward if this got out in government circles, you understand? Have you any objection to my getting a taxi and leaving quietly?
I'll get you a police car, sir. That'll get you help quicker.
Thank you.
The same old vice racket, huh, D'Ambrosio? The girl was going to the police, so you had to kill her.
That's part of it, yes, but I did not kill her.
Who did it then? Your short-sighted barman?
No.
Start talking, D'Ambrosio. Who was it? The man who owns this place? The backer?
Yes. It was Londo.
Londo?
He's in there in the club.
Get him quick.
He's gone. Well, he spoke to me. I gave him a car.
Message received, over.
This isn't the way to my house.
Special orders, sir.
What orders?
We've been asked to call into headquarters, sir.
Is that really necessary?
Just a routine circular to pick up, sir.
This is a disgrace. I shall report this to the highest authority. Inspector Duval.
You can do your reporting to Inspector Chauvin. Mr. Stack here kindly vacated a cell for you. Oh. You're due in court in London tomorrow.
What?
On a parking charge.
Well, you can't win all the time.
Get me Interpol.